It could be the perfect cancer-causing agent, an invisible monster that's in our homes, our offices, everywhere, and you would never know it. It's called electromagnetic radiation. And Fox 5's Brian Bolter joins us now with a look in-depth at the fields of energy we can't escape. Brian?
Yeah, Mike, let's start with your typical run-of-the-mill kitchen. We're talking, as you said, about electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, and they're bouncing off of these household appliances as we speak, from your toaster to your dishwasher to your microwave to your coffee maker. The question scientists are trying to answer is the radiation emitted by these appliances so much that it can disturb your cells and actually become a contributor to cancer.
The levels are relatively low. They're 1 to 2 milligauss. You know, that is typical in older neighborhoods.
If Robin Sherman looks confused, you can't blame her.
Well, let's just see what the magnetic fields are in your dishwasher.
This engineer's measuring her electromagnetic fields. They're called EMFs, and they're found in every single one of our homes, too.
Okay, this one's only 50. Of course, if you notice, we go into the baby's room, it's even less. It's 0.64.
That's great.
From the hair dryer,
600, 700, 800.
to the circuit breaker.
1.2.
Some scientists question whether exposure to EMFs like these can lead to cancer. This is a copy of the latest study done by Michigan State University. The researchers say EMFs are a potential human tumor promoter. That's one reason Lou Vitale is hired by everyone, from homeowners to the World Trade Center.
It's one of those things where, because it's invisible, you fear it. And the more you see what the fields are and how quickly they decay from things, the more threatening it becomes.
And with this 3D computer-generated display of Robin's electrical peaks, this mother of two realized her family's household EMF exposure is very low. That's the case for most of us.
It really seems like you have to stand in front of that, appliance for a long time, over years and years, to really have some effect on your body.
But this EMF tester says, hang on. Remember this? It's the latest in 2 decades of scientific experiments, questioning if we are all really lab rats in a long-term radioactive experiment.
Very little of the research was going to actual home situations, or worse, commercial sites that have extremely high magnetic fields.
So guess where some of the largest electromagnetic fields in all of Washington are? Right here in the center of a Metro Rail train. Just take a look. These paper clips will actually stand up from the electromagnetic force.
Yeah, over range. I just went right off the range.
With the same type tester the United States Department of Transportation used, along with the DOT's EMF report in hand, Lou Vitale showed us how high the electromagnetic fields are in certain Metro cars.
7 Gauss.
Enough to create a powerful current that actually penetrates our bodies.
It's a little scary. It is.
There is nothing conclusive in those reports to suggest that we, as the end user of these vehicles or trains, or the manufacturers, to do anything to retrofit or to redesign vehicles to lower the levels of EMF.
People who operate such equipment, such as the Metro, and other operators of high-power equipment, have a responsibility to notify people, at least with signs, what they're exposed to, so that they have a free will choice whether to avoid those areas with elevated emissions.
There's a lot we need to learn about the interaction between electric and magnetic fields and the human body at a basic molecular cellular level.
Dr. Patrick Bricey is an EMF researcher at the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. The theory goes that magnetic fields contribute to the breakdown of chemical bonds in people, causing a mutation of DNA. That would help produce cancer-causing cells.
And one can calculate.
But Dr. Bob Park, a University of Maryland physics professor and author of Voodoo Science, says that chain of biological events can't be caused by electromagnetic fields.
It passes right through the body with no effect at all.
With his chapter called Currents of Fear, the chairman of the American Physical Society addresses suspected links with EMF and cancer. He says there's no EMFs on Earth that are powerful enough to create a risk.
Even for the kinds of fields that you're exposed to on the Metro, they are extremely small compared to the body's natural electric currents.
Yeah, that's the spot right here. The highest spot around.
The jury's still out, and believe me, if we do find something conclusive and that we need to take action, Metro is first to take action, we will do so.
As for this latest research, just like others before it, the conclusion is EMF exposure must be further examined.
This can go on forever. without some compelling evidence that it's causing a problem, there is just no point in going forward.
It's a bit frustrating to be 10, 20 years into this research and still not be closer to an answer. But I just, I'm sorry, I tell people that's just the state of the science.
So for now, you have to decide if riding the metro or doing the dishes is a risk, if there even is one at all. And while the EMF studies continue, there are ways you can reduce your exposure to EMFs if you are concerned. Go ahead and take a look. First of all, keep about an arm's length from your appliances when they're operating, if at all possible. Check the wiring in your house. Faulty wiring leads to high levels of stray EMFs. And find the major source of electricity in your office. Many workers don't realize they spend all day above power sources in their own building. In the meantime, the scientific community says funding in this area is few and far between. Reporting live, I'm Brian Bolter. Mike, back to you.
All right, Brian, thanks very much. Now, which workers have the highest levels of exposure? Electrical line workers, that makes sense, and surprisingly, sewing machine operators, according to the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health.
Wouldn't think about the last one.
I wouldn't have either.